It's July 16th, 2024, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxel, and it was quite an unfunny weekend, if we're being honest. Dr. Ruth Westheimer died. Thankfully, unlike me, she lived a life full of sex. Richard Simmons died at only 165 pounds. And Shannon Doherty died at age 53, which is sad. Also, some 20-year-old Pennsylvania man really didn't like Donald Trump's right ear. Yes, former President Donald Trump survived an assassination attempt during a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. Or, as the NRA describes it, an accidental usage of Second Amendment rights. Following the assassination attempt on former President Trump, the people who support him are more in support of him than the support they originally had for him before. And the people who don't support Trump still don't support him, but they do feel a little bit bad that he was shot in the ear. President Biden addressed the nation after Trump's assassination attempt. He said that he was happy Trump was safe, and even more happy that no one is talking about the debate. Biden also called for unity in the immediate aftermath of the assassination attempt. He asked Americans to reject political violence and to, in his words, cool it down. He then backtracked on the cool it down comment after he learned someone set the White House thermostat to 70 degrees. After the assassination attempt, ABC News anchors blamed Trump for his violent rhetoric. They then blamed domestic abuse victims for not having dinner ready on time. Whilst Jack Black and bandmate Kyle Gass were performing in Sydney, Australia on Sunday, Gass was asked to make a wish for his birthday. Gass joked, "Don't miss Trump next time." Jack Black canceled the rest of the tour and released a statement saying he does not condone hate speech, and that all future Tenacious D plans are on hold. Kyle Gass's career dead at 34. More after this. The world is on fire right now, figuratively and even literally, and it's only Tuesday. Here's some more of what you may have missed over the last week. Trump's would-be assassin, Thomas Matthew Crooks, was a virgin. Conspiracy theorists haven't really come up with anything on this, mainly because most conspiracy theorists are themselves Trump supporters. In other political news, a recent Forbes-Harris poll shows independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is closing the gap by polling at 19% among voters and 38% among undecided voters. But then someone shot at Trump's ear, and those numbers have more than likely dropped by now. A presidential assassination is frightening, unsettling, and is certainly not at all funny. But give it about 2 decades and you can find the funny in it. Now, an assassination attempt, maybe a month and a half. Whether you agree with that or not, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way, you'll be alerted when we post a new video so you can yell at us in the comments section. We have a live show coming up the first 2 weekends in August at Limelight Theater here in Atlanta. It's called Sketchworks Plus, and it pokes fun at all things streaming. Click the link below, it's above the comment section, to get your tickets and support live theater. Turn off your TV and come see us make fun of what's on your TV. And that ends this week's gratuitous. A new survey shows that half of small business owners believe they won't survive another term of President Biden. Also not likely to survive another term, President Biden. Donald Trump will accept the Republican Party's presidential nomination at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, a city he once called horrible. But, in fairness to the former president, who hasn't said that Milwaukee is horrible? On his flight to Milwaukee, an introspective Trump told the press pool, "I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be dead. Trump then said, following the Republican convention, he's going to spend a week at a spiritual healing hippie commune in Ojai, California. Trump then spent the rest of the flight listening to Joni Mitchell records. Now, Trump's suggestion that divine intervention spared his life during the assassination attempt is yet another entry in the list of striking similarities between Trump and Jules Winfield, Samuel L. Jackson's character from Pulp Fiction. Oh, and Trump picked a running mate, U.S. Senator J.D. Vance. Trump stated the main factor in selecting Vance isn't his youth and views, but it's the fact that he can recycle old campaign signs by just changing the first two letters. If elected, Vance will be the first vice president in 92 years with facial hair. The last VP with facial hair was, you guessed it, Charles Curtis. There he is. And just who was Charles Curtis? I'm glad you asked. Charles Curtis, no middle name given, was born in the Kansas Territory, a year before Kansas became a state. Pretty prairie, that's old. He and his wife had 3 children and were married for 40 years. On purpose? And Charles Curtis is the first Native American to serve as vice president, as he was 3/8 Native American. How about that? And there you have this week's lesson in the vice presidency. We hope you learned something useful. Charles Curtis. Next week, Spiro Agnew. A newly discovered species of fish native to the Amazon River has been named Milopus sauron due to its markings bearing a resemblance to the Eye of Sauron from the Lord of the Rings trilogy of books and films. The scientist who named the new species says he plans on calling the next fish he discovers Thaddeus Silverthorn, after the chaotic neutral wizard he plays in his Wednesday night Dungeons & Dragons campaign. A 375-pound sea turtle in Florida was released back into the ocean after a long period of rehab. But sadly, no amount of rehab will kick his sex addiction. Researchers at the Imperial Endocrine Bone Unit at the Imperial College Healthcare NHS Trust place. Yeah, that's it. That's the place. So those guys there have discovered a hormone in lactating mice which combats osteoporosis, a disorder which affects roughly 3 million women each year, which is why they recommend all women over the age of 40 should eat a lactating mouse at least once a month. The studio behind the Despicable Me franchise announced that Minions 3 will debut in theaters in June 2027. The collection of widely popular movies has already set a record as the first animated series of films to earn more than $5 billion globally. We here at Sketchworks NewsBrake congratulate the series creators. And starting next week, we will be including the words banana and Beto, Beto, Beto in every single news story. I can't wait for that. Samsung launched a new one-of-a-kind smart ring that uses AI to monitor your health. For example, the ring can let you know if you're overweight by not fitting on your finger. And that's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxel. Say hi to your mom for me. She fits on my finger.
Did you come up with it, Richard?
I came up with Richard.
And now you love it.
Well, then they called me Dickie, so I don't even, what was worse, Milton or Dickie? So no, I like Richard.
So tonight, I'm asking every American to recommit, to make America, think about it. What's made America so special?